What's up, guys, and welcome back. It's your favorite painter that takes months to do a project. The project I'm sharing this time is a Michael Myers. He hasn't always been my favorite, and I still don't know if he is my favorite, but in recent time, through recent years, he's become one of my favorite, like, old school serial killers from the movies. And I got this pack of, like, horror minis, and I have more stuff planned, but I had to get this one done, and I was super excited about it. I have some cool plans for this one like last time, so let's get into it. As always, we got to prime our mini, so let's do that.
Peep the slow cutter as he utter the calm flow. Don't talk about my mom, yo. Sometimes he rhyme quick, sometimes he rhyme slow, or vice versa. Whip up a slice of nice verse pie, hit it on the first try, villain, the worst.
Alright, now that the little feller is primed, it's time to start painting. Alright, guys, we are back. You know the drill. We got to take a look at the mini first. I am so in love with this horror pack I got. They're kind of like cartoonish in a way. They're not really realism based, but I fell in love with them. And the detail scale on like the face, I was in love with, because a lot of the times I have a hard time painting like the super small features. Like I had a Thomas Wayne figure that I had to scrap because I just couldn't get anything. But we got to get started here. I started with the Corax White, because you know we got to get the face started. It's like the most iconic part of a Myers costume. You know, just as much as like the mechanic outfit itself. But I think the mask obviously is the biggest thing about him. And this Corax White is absolutely amazing. The pigmentation on it's insane. The coverage. I went very light here, just to make sure that I got everything covered. And if I had to go back, obviously we can run it again. It's much harder to take off, you know, too thick of a layer than it is to apply more. And this stuff was fantastic. I mean, it was really popping out every detail. The cheekbones, the lips, the eye sockets, the nose, everything. Let me take a close look here. I was already like super happy with it. And then I moved over to the Rhinox Hide, a Citadel paint that I really wanted to try before, because I usually use the burnt umber when I'm doing a brown, and I still use it today. That acrylic paint has a very good coverage still, but I wanted to give this a shot, and I loved it. I really did. It was such a nice color. I did mix it a little bit, I believe, with some Corax White, just to make it a little bit lighter than it was. Because when I did open it, it was much darker than I thought it would be. But this was a great mixture. It popped out every hairline, every little detail that I needed to see. Just a little quick look here. I was in love already. And then I switch over to just the Rhinox Hide by itself, no mixture. And this was just to give his hair like highlights. Just on any like raised part, and I believe I did the front a little bit just for, you know, as if like light was showing on it, there would be certain pieces showing more. So as you can see from the first clips, you know, I started with like the head, you know, the mask and the hair. I really needed to get the bases of his mask and hair down first, because that's obviously like the most iconic part to me about Myers. And I really wanted to get it right. And then after that, I just thought I'd slowly move over to the body. I just wanted to, like, at first get, like, a basis down of basic colors of what, like, he's going to look like. So then I start using the Macragge Blue, which is a fantastic color. I've used it on some ultramarines that I've painted in the past. It's absolutely amazing. And I mix it here with some of the Abaddon Black. Just to give his jumpsuit, you know, that darker color. The Macragge Blue as a base was a little too light for me. And in most of the movies, you see he's, hanging out in the shadows. There's not a lot of light on him. And I just wanted to keep that vibe of the miniature, keep it very nice and dark. And I think this mixture really captured it. I was worried that it was going to be too dark, but I thought this really hit the nail on the head for me. And I'm just making sure here that I get every like little crease. This is just like a beginner layer before I went full blown on the entire outfit. I just need to get an idea of what it would actually like look like. And then after getting that base part done, I did move back to the Korax White just to clean up the mask a little bit. And I needed to finish like the neckline, which I was worried about. There's a very thin part between his neck showing flesh and then the mask and then into the shirt below, which was very hard. I wanted to get the ears covered. And I was going very light on the ears because I didn't want to battle the whole time between his hair and the mask. That would have been really annoying to just keep covering back and forth. But just trying to get as much detail as I can. Fixing up his hairline. Gotta make him look good, And my main goal was to just not have to touch the mask again, because I really didn't want to ruin it. And I kind of want to keep his mask clean. There's so many variations in his mask that I just wanted like a nice clean look for him. So then I finally went back, Macragge Blue and Abaddon again. That same mixture just to finish every single part of him. Down to the boots, the wrists. Finish up the collar, the back of the neck. Just make sure everything has a base foundation on it. I try to be like as neat as I can. I know I don't have to, but the less work I have to do later, the better I feel. So then I move over to the Abaddon Black, just for the boots, which I was struggling to decide between the brown leather boots or his black leather boots. And I decided to go for the darker color. I think that's what I've seen more, especially in the recent movies. I believe he's had both. But I just thought that would tie everything together. So then I finally take just the Macragge Blue by itself, no mixture. And I start with the pants here just to see what it would look like on top of this darker mixture. And I was really happy with it. It was kind of creating this natural tone shift that's as if there was like a shadow cast onto him. And I was super happy with it. So I just started to go ham more on the left side of his body. At the end of it, he kind of looked like a Two-Face in a way, but it wasn't so like, it wasn't such an abrupt cut between the two tones. There was a lot of blending involved, because I was battling between the two colors and kind of trying to make them work in harmony together, which I believe we achieved in the end, especially with what we did later. Just taking a close look here. This is where you can really see some of those details pop. I have a hard time like grabbing pictures and stuff of the actual tones on the miniature. In person, obviously it looks a lot different, but I think this is like the closest you'll see that shadow change. And I was so in love with the miniature at this point. And you guys will see this new brush that I'm using. It's from Citadel. It came in like a starter kit, and I didn't hear a lot of good things about this brush, but it really shocked me. It kept a nice fine point, which we definitely used later. It was a huge help. And then just getting the undershirt here. And then finally, I used that same mixture we did on Pyramid Head for his flesh. Unless I find a good Citadel one, which I think they do have some good flesh tones, I'm going to keep using this for any, like, human-based miniatures we have. I haven't looked back since we did this mixture. I just keep using it every time. And it was absolutely perfect on here. So now that we got the clothes done, the boots, the hair, the mask, I felt like I had a really good foundation to do Myers. And I started trying some other things with like a tone change, you know? Because if you saw first, I went for like a darker color, and then a lighter one. I changed out a lot. I went for like a half and half look across his body. And that was all starting to look great to me. So I didn't get to show it on camera except for like the end part. But I was really struggling with like an idea to take the project in. Because I could very easily just go for basic colors and call it a day on him. But I really wanted to go like out of my comfort zone on this one. So then I tried something that I've never gotten to like work before, and I think it was cut from the paints that I was using. Because before I was just using like really basic acrylic paint. And now that I got the Citadel stuff, I wanted to go ahead and try dry brushing again because I've never gotten that to, you know, look nice for me. Yeah, so like I said, I'm stepping out of my comfort zone here. I wanted to try dry brushing again because I really wanted this worn look across Myers' outfit. And this is what I was talking about, the blending working well between the two tone changes. It created this nice natural shadow on one side, a light cast on the other. Everything blended well. It had this nice worn look. I was in love. So after getting the dry brushing and everything done, I finally came to a conclusion of the style I wanted this miniature to be in because I've never done it before. Like I said, I wanted to go like way out of my comfort zone on painting. So this time I went for almost like a cell shade. You know, after the dry brushing, I was like, I kind of want to go for like a cell shade and like a comic book style. Or like I'll show a picture over here of, you know, like the Retro Realms, you know, comic book style Myers. And so I started painting in like very exaggerated lines on the sides just to kind of make everything kind of pop out and have all the pieces show. Yeah, so I was battling for about a week or two on the direction I wanted to take this in. Because I could just leave it at the dry brush, but I knew I wanted to do a lot more with this. Especially since it's not really a realism piece. And I was just trying new things this time. You know, sometimes you got to do that to learn. So I consulted with a friend. I'll link his channel in the description to his Twitch. We settled on going for like a Retro Realms comic book Myers, which I thought was such a cool idea. So when I started on that right pocket of his with the outline, I could already kind of see the vision of what this was going to look like. And I was so ecstatic about it. This made every detail pop. It made it look kind of cel shaded. I was like, this is absolutely incredible. And I really want to do this for the other horror miniatures that we have in that pack. And then I went for the eyes here on the mask. I didn't want to use the Abaddon Black because I thought it would be too much and too thick. So I did use a Nuln Oil. And it kind of casted this little shadow on the cheek lines. And I thought that was perfect. And then I went in just for the last bits of outlining. I went for the hands. You know, just lining up the fingers on the knuckles, just to really hit home that comic book look. And then we did the base finally with the red, just kind of creating that blood splatter. I like to create a scene, like I said before, with these miniatures. And then on top of this, I did some of that Earthshade oil. which I absolutely love. It creates this like grimy grunge look with the miniatures, especially with this comic book style. I think it made the whole base itself pop as well. It was fantastic. And after all that last minute detailing, getting the base done, I went for another like kind of dirty base. Um, I know I was kind of out of view sometimes. I didn't realize where the camera was sitting, but I went for a different. I didn't know if it was gonna work. And it looked really nice at the end, but I went for a different idea for the blood on top of the base. So I can show a little more in detail here, possibly, maybe not. Probably not. You can see little splatters near his shoe here. So basically I put like the Earthshade oil down. Um, I did blood first, then the Earthshade oil. And then while the Earthshade was still kind of pulling up and wet, I did like very light amounts of the red on top to kind of make it pool up and pop above, kind of like layered a little bit. And I thought it looked really cool. I think it like really popped itself out. But yeah, here's our final result. I'm super happy with this one. I honestly think it turned out as good as like the Pyramid Head one. And I was really happy I stepped out of my zone this time and went for a comic book style. I think I'm going to do some more of that in the future. I think I'll stick with like a comic book look on these more like almost cartoony-ish ones. The model's not like super realism based. And that was kind of something that pushed me forward to that idea. But now I'll give you guys some close-up shots and we'll get out of here. I thank you guys so much for watching again, just hanging out and spending your time with me. I got some cool other miniatures planned that I want to do. It'll take me 5 years to do them, but we'll get through them. But yeah, guys, take care.
Come here, girl. Go ahead, be gone with it. Come to the back. Go ahead, be gone with it. VIP. Go ahead, be gone with it. Drinks on me. Go ahead, be gone with it. Twerking with. Go ahead.